I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro for it last year. But this is something, it's a different initiative, but for the same cause. Millions of girls around the world are being denied an education and missing a chance to learn vital skills, all due to poverty, shyness, embarrassment, fear, and negative perceptions while menstruating. Lack of knowledge, sanitary facilities, and poor hygiene are also a major contribution to such problems. A local non-profit organization, Happy with a Purpose, is one of the few organizations trying to combat this unfortunate situation. And to tell us about the Mina Cup is Doctor Mashadi Motlana. She's in studio with me. Good to have you. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Before we get to talk about the cup, I mean, you and I have been chatting off air about the issue of young girls not being able to go to school, all because they are doing the most natural thing and having their period. How far are we in terms of coming to terms with we need to provide these sanitary towels?
I think we're just at the beginning of this conversation, and I think there's a growing clamour from organisations such as ourselves and actually girls who are subjected to these difficult conditions to say that we need to look at providing real sustainable solutions for this problem, which should not be a problem because menstruation is really a normal biological function. It's something we ought to be celebrating because as women it's life-giving. However, instead, menstrual periods are something that's surrounded by and shrouded in secrecy, and people often don't talk about menstruation because of its association with sex and sexual health. These conversations are often taboo. Women and young girls at their first menstruation often don't know what's happening to their bodies, and they learn perhaps from their school, perhaps from friends, and less often from their parents.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate reality. And also, a lot of the time, these young girls are the main caregivers of the family. I mean, these are child-headed households we're talking about. I know I remembered visiting a school, handing out sanitary towels, and that was the exact scenario. Some of these young girls, this was the last thing they were going to put in their trolley or even worry about, was because they couldn't afford it, so they had to stay home. But you've got a different kind of mechanism, and not necessarily buying sanitary towels and getting rid of them. You've got something that can actually last. What's this all about?
Well, we're quite excited about Mina, and we call it the best kept secret. Because the point is, in 1932, as early as 1932, the first menstrual cup was produced out of rubber. And in 2016, very few women or young girls are aware that there's a solution that's sustainable. We produce a menstrual cup made out of silicone with a life of about 5 to 10 years. It's eminently reusable. So after each use, you simply boil it, and then it's basically good for the next use. In between, during a menstrual cycle, you empty it. It simply collects blood, unlike tampons, which absorb blood. We then empty it every 8 to 12 hours. So what it really means is that girls who are in schools where perhaps the toilet facilities aren't that good, need not have to go up and down to the toilets. They can simply wait till they're home to empty it properly and rinse it out. But if they have to use it, they can simply wipe it. We also provide a spray so that they can sanitize it between use.
Okay. How comfortable is it though?
Well, we'd like to think that our cup is specifically designed for a young girl. We looked at the market, and between ourselves, there are two other founders, Zakira Mohammed and Lirata Ndoro. We looked at what was on the market and decided we want something smaller, softer, but still a very high-grade silicone. So we designed it specifically with the young girl in mind, and really thinking about safety, in terms of medical standards of the silicone, and also comfort for the girls.
Now, something like this, I imagine, has to be donated, and a pack like this. So you're saying it comes with the cup, it comes with a spray, it looks like there's a book as well. There's
That's right.
What is this? Is this where you store it?
Absolutely. This is our storage. This is a pouch made by women that we're trying to provide work for. They simply hand sew it. And then we have the cup with the spray, which is part of one package. You can also, the donors could potentially also take a journal, a Mina journal for girls, which has little pieces where a girl can share her journey through her menstrual period, has some information. And we've been working with Transnet. They're the first organization that's really seen the value in Mina and have had very exciting results. And Transnet uses this as part of a puberty hygiene program, and they distribute the book, the cup, the spray, plus a kit with basic toiletries. So it depends on the organization, their budget, and what they're willing to pay for.
How much does, I mean, in a nutshell, how much does this kit cost? How much does one kit cost?
It really depends on the volumes.
Okay.
So with
the more the cheaper.
The more the cheaper.
Yeah, the usual.
Exactly. But we can also, look at what the budget is and work within that. Obviously, we've got beautiful branding that we got pro bono from an organization called Brand Union. Transnet has facilitators that also help the girls take them through a journey, so we don't simply deposit a cup, we actually help them with using it and information about their sexual health, and also delaying the age of sexual debut, because we know that's already around 12 or 13, and we'd like girls to delay that as far as possible.
Tell me, just finally, to wrap up the interview, have you distributed many of them? Are they in use?
Yes, they are in use. Transnet made an order for 10,000 cups last year. Fantastic. We're hoping that Transnet again will knock on our doors, and other organizations.
Good.
And
if they want to knock on their door, how do you get hold of you?
At info@minacup.org. Okay. We also have a website, www.minacup.org, and a Twitter handle.
Excellent.
Meet_Mina.
All right. Meet_Mina.
That's
all right,
it.
so visit the website, just in a nutshell, because we're pressed for time, www.minacup, minacup.org. Go there, all the details, whether it's on social media or email. Please, let's try and help and see what we can do. Well, that's it. I'm going to